everyone, and I thank you guys so much for tuning in to yet another orchid adventure with me, Maria Young. Okay, so today what we are going to be focused on is this Encyclia tampensis. Yay, us! Now, this Encyclia tampensis is known to grow naturally in the state of Florida, which of course you guys know I am in Florida, so I was very excited to come across this orchid and definitely purchase one because of course you guys know if you go out into the wild and you decide to pick one of these Encyclia tampensis, it is against the law. Dun-dun-dun-dun. So definitely did not want to do that, but I did purchase one from a nursery and definitely am very, very excited because as you guys can see, this has been in bud and growing rather quickly, rapidly, very fast. And it is very amusing to watch these little guys grow because unusual indeed, because my other Encyclia cordigera or cordigera, however you want to pronounce it, grows rather differently than this Encyclia right here. The Encyclia tampensis actually will grow at the same time it creates its bud. It will also grow its new growth as well. And let's see if we can show you all of the new growth that is in here. Now, the way that you are going to see the new growth actually is you are going to see a type of tinge in here, a maroon color, as you can see, 1, 2, and 3 right there. And throughout you are seeing all of the new growth, which will be future pseudobulbs. And what's amazing about that, folks, again, it is growing at the same time that it is also creating its buds right here. And these buds will actually last for a good 2 months. So therefore, giving these new growth good time to grow and become pseudobulbs. And soon after, of course, produce more spikes and more buds. It will actually continue to bloom for you during blooming season. Okay, so let's get a closer look on this one particular bud that is coming into bloom. You guys know I am quite the cheater and a very nosy gal, so I definitely cannot resist taking a look at this very dainty, very beautiful blossom. Now, as you guys are noticing, there is this very nice tinge of fuchsia on the inner skirt right here. A very pretty color. And if we take a look inside here, you are noticing kind of a striping effect on this side petal right here. Also a deeper fuchsia there as well. And on the inside, folks, if you guys seen my other video on my Encyclia cordigera, it is very similar, of course, very different in color now, because this almost seems like an alba form where you're seeing a lot of green here and white. But definitely this is going to be a very beautiful, beautiful blossom, and I cannot wait to see all of them in bloom. So I would say in about a week, maybe less than that, we will see beautiful sprays of this Encyclia tampensis. Now, taking a closer look at these pseudobulbs, wow, they are pleasantly plump, glossy, shiny, very smooth. And as you guys know, I am indeed a pseudobulb type of gal, loving to touch and feel on these. So definitely very attractive pseudobulbs on these, and is really a bonus to the plant because they are just quite scrumptious. And of course, on these scrumptious pseudobulbs, you will also notice the new growth or future pseudobulbs that grow at the very base of these nice scrumptious pseudobulbs. And from these pseudobulbs, you will also note that the foliage will grow. And then you will notice that the actual flower spike itself will grow in between the leaves. And the spike itself will grow out into a very long, very slender, almost thread-like in appearance, and containing an abundance of miniature buds. Now, of course, if you wanted to, you could stake up these spikes right here. But being that they're so windy and a little bit curvy, and they have a natural tendency to cascade down, I am thinking that I'm just going to go ahead and hang this in a hanging container and really allow it that natural flow of cascading its beautiful blossoms. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about the care and the culture of this Encyclia tampensis. Now, this Encyclia is indeed an epiphyte and loves to grow on trees. And because this is an epiphyte, this will grow rather well in bark media. Now, of course, I live in Florida, so I always mix my bark with sphagnum, a little bit of coal, and some perlite. But of course, you are free to grow it in whatever medium, and it is suggested that this is grown in bark. Okay, folks, and as I have stated, this orchid right here grows naturally in the state of Florida, so it is safe to assume that this orchid really loves warm to hot climate and loves Cattleya type of light, but can tolerate also dappled light or bright shade. But of course, if you guys want the beautiful blossoms, try to give it as much light as possible. Also, watering on these guys should be about once or twice a week, just depending on your location. But these little guys also like a little bit of dry time, so when you start noticing that it is drying out, then that would mean it is time to water again. So definitely, if you miss a watering, don't fret, because these little guys also like a little bit of drying time. But definitely, because they have such beautiful, beautiful pseudobulbs, don't let it go without water for too long, because you don't want to damage these precious little green pearls right there. And if we take a closer look at the roots right here, you can see that they can become rather hardy and can be found growing in between the tightly packed pseudobulb and of course under the medium as well. And as you can see, they are very slender, very slim, and definitely a hardy grower, just growing throughout the base of the plant. And now we see the Encyclia tampensis orchid in full bloom. And as you can see, these flowers are very, very dainty, quite adorable, almost exposing an alba type coloration. Of course, also including that very pretty pink in the center. Gorgeous blossoms right here, very dainty and free flowering blooms. And that brings us to the end of this tampensis adventure. I thank you guys so much for tuning in to yet another orchid adventure with me, Maria Young. And I ask you to please stay tuned for more. Thank you for watching.